Hi guys, I hope you are very well. I hope you are enjoying and having a nourished winter so far. Apologies for the giant dog in the way. I've put her in her bed multiple times and then she just sits there barking at me, so she just wants centre stage. This seems to be the best way. So today, in our Nourish week, I am sharing a little restorative flow with you. So I think one of the most deeply nourishing things we can do in our mad modern worlds is just find a bit of stillness and give ourselves time to really ground down. So speaking of which, we are going to begin with a little grounding. So find your comfortable seat, however it looks, doesn't need to be the same as mine. Any seat is a good seat. And let yourself feel the earth beneath you and simultaneously grow tall, crown of the head reaching to the sky. Roll the shoulders back. And give yourself a moment to arrive here. Arriving in your space. Notice how you feel today. Placing no judgment upon that. Just awareness. And our theme today is the heart space. So taking a few extra breaths, connecting to your heart center, the center of the sternum, the energetic heart center, and thinking of it as a 360 space where it connects to with the spine, the back, the front of the heart space. Send your breath here and let it move with a little curiosity. How is the heart space feeling? Perhaps met with some emotion or resistance, a feeling of purity. And then together we'll take a releasing breath. A deep inhale through the nose, send it to the belly. Open the mouth, let it go. Nice. You can flutter open the eyes when you're ready. And if you need to grab yourself a blanket, a bolster or a big cushion, and then a strap, or a belt, a dressing gown strap works really well if you don't have one, and then some blocks or some sturdy books. And our first posture is actually going to take us down onto these. So we're going to put a block roughly between the shoulder blades. I'm going to use a second block to place my head on because it's nice. I've got a bit of a neck niggle at the minute, but you can let your head drop fully back if that feels good for you. So you've got to line yourself up, feeling as though the heart lifts. Oh, it's so nice to be there. And then you can let your feet meet one another, knees falling out to the side. You can extend the legs out long, or place the feet outside edges of the mat, knees drawing in towards one another. That last option is going to give your lower back the most support. So here, if you get a bit of icky or pain, this is going to be a nice variation to be. So set yourself up, your chosen variation of the pose, your expression. And really connect to that feeling, that gesture of the heart space lifting and opening through the front, and also of something pressing into the back of the heart space. So really activating that energy center. Let your breath move there. We're going to take a few minutes to ground here. So just let yourself fully carry on arriving, dropping into the practice. You can close down the eyes and let your breath be free. Taking time to enjoy these sensations. Let your awareness come both to the breath and to the heart space, feeling as though you breathe through heart center. I'm just going to be here for about another 30 seconds. Let those breaths be free. And then we're going to begin to slowly unravel ourselves from the posture and bring yourself away from your props, nice and slow. Hopefully feeling as though the heart space a little more alive. You've been breathing into it for a few moments. So now we have this sort of deeper connection. We're just going to do a little moving posture before flowing into our next nice relaxed one. So we're going to think about this heart center, bring our hands to prayer, and with an inhale we're going to cactus open the arms, lift the heart space, shine it forwards and up. So slight arch to the spine here. And then as you round, putting your barriers in place, protecting the heart space, pushing your back behind you. Inhale, open, lift the heart space. Exhale, let it go, bringing the boundaries in. Inhale, open, this is the last time. And exhale. Let it go, hands back to heart center and release. I'm going to come over into a child's pose. Your choice whether you like to use a cushion or bolster or go without here, so you could happily come to the floor if that version feels good for you. Otherwise we're going to go, just getting rid of that, gets a bit wonky if I don't pat it down. So wide leg child's pose if that's comfy for you, and then rest yourself down on your bolster. Forehead can come down or take your head to one side if that feels good. I'll let you know when we're roughly halfway in case you want to take your head over the other way. So let yourself arrive once again. If this is a little intense through your legs, you can roll a blanket and put it between the thigh and the calf. It takes a bit of pressure out the knee. So finding your expression. And then letting the breath meet you here. Really thinking about breathing into the back of the heart space now. Every breath, the back of the lungs, the rib cage, lifting, expanding. And every exhale, it lets go. Breathing in, feeling the back body lift, and letting it go. If you took your head to one side, now is a nice time to switch it the other way if you want to. If you want to even out through both sides, so about halfway through. Really keep using the breath as an anchor to keep you in the present. Any to-do lists or any other place, thoughts drifting through your mind, no need to attach. Bringing yourself back to that breath, back to the anchor, holding you steady here. Just going to be here about another 30 seconds, consciously thinking of letting the exhales gently extend. And then giving yourself a moment to prepare. We're going to slowly come up, away from the pose, and adjust ourselves, getting ready for the next pose. So we're going to want our strap. We're going to lay on our back. I'll bring this in a mo. We're going to do a leg lift posture, so strap at the ready. We're going to have a dog in the way. Perhaps you want to hold on to your leg with your arm. If you're feeling nice and open in the hips, that can be nice. Otherwise, your strap or your belt going over the sole or round the sole of your right foot and holding it with your right arm. Your left leg either extended with your left hand on the hip, just softly holding it in place, or giving more support to your lower back, the left knee is bent in. So yogi's choice, and of course the head would be relaxed back. What we want here is that the arm is nice and long, so you're not bent through the elbow, putting pressure into the shoulder. We're extending the arm, clasping the hands. Pretty much the hand is the only muscles that are active here. Everything else we invite to release. So the reason I brought my bolster with me is to put to the side, as once we've done a few minutes here, you're welcome to open the leg out. Some people like that variation, some people may not, so you can absolutely stay in this legs lifted variation. Just trying to talk clearly enough over the bum of a mountain dog. So find your legs lift expression. And maybe as you breathe, you get a little more space being created through the body. Maybe the hips, the back of the thigh, the quads, the hamstrings. Maybe they start to give a little more. No forcing, just keeping the breath full and free. Perhaps you start to notice that lovely pause, that lovely natural pause between inhale and exhale and inhale. Just going to take about another 30 seconds here. So if you don't have a cushion or bolster next to you, perhaps bringing one in to prepare. And then the invitation, keeping the leg 90-90 or closer if your hips are feeling nice and open, to open the leg out. So we're coming into a nice stretch through the groin. Maybe you want to bend that left leg for a little counterbalance. So you're keeping the left hip on the floor. The left hand can help anchor it in place a little too. And then once again, breathing with the pose. The breaths are full and free. Steady, refreshing inhales and long releasing exhales. If this variation feels too much through anyone's hips, groins or lower backs, you can come back into the variation we were in before, or bring yourself to any other chosen resting posture. Focus for all of us, whichever variation we're in, is that anchor is the breath. Just into our last 30 seconds or so here. And then slowly bringing yourself away from the posture. You can take a little sway, rock and roll if you need. Swap your bolster to the other side. And we're going to work the other leg. So I have a wall beside me, so I've got to spin myself around. So left leg this time, the strap is coming around the left foot, over the left foot. The right leg either extending or the knee bent, and the right hand is helping anchor the hip down. The first few breaths, really thinking of extending the left leg. Maybe your body invites you into a little more space. Connecting with those lovely long breaths. And remembering we want the strap to be one extension of the limb. So it's one long arm, imagining you're holding your foot here. If the elbow starts to bend, hold a little higher up the strap. You don't want to feel as though the bicep is having to work, just the muscles through the hands, everything else grounding, and perhaps the back of the leg releasing. So we're just going to take a couple more breaths here before that invitation, as we did before, to open it out to the side. So taking that counterbalance through the right leg if you need, bending it. Maybe you can bend it and then extend once again, using the right hand, sort of hooking over the hip bone to help anchor you down to the floor. And once again, connecting to the breath. Yes, we might be hanging out in a posture, but there is nothing to achieve here. Simply inviting ourselves to be present with the breath and grounding down. The breaths are full and free. just into our last few rounds of breath here. And then beginning to let it all go. Maybe taking that little sway or rock once again. And bringing yourself up to a seated position. So we're going to come into a couple of spinal twists. I'm going to talk through them for you, and you can take your variation. I'm going to offer a slightly different one to what we did in last week's practice. So, if you can see around the big dog, I'm going to sit, and in the same direction as my torso, the left knee is coming in front and the right knee pretty close to it. So both legs are bent, heels as close in as is comfortable, so I'm not yanking them towards the bottom, but they're also not out long. So the shins tucked in, getting your bolster and bringing it in nice and close against the hips. You're going to inhale, reach towards the crown of the head, find space through the body, and as you exhale, twist over the bolster, let your head and neck come the other way. So it's a really nice place to be. Normally, it's not very nice in my body at the minute, so I'm just talking through it. I'm not going to do it myself, but I know many people love this one. So enjoying yourself there, if you get there and now happy. If it's not for you today, then you can come into a traditional on your back twist. So simply laying down, taking the knees over to the left and the head and neck over to the right. The bolster is optional, so you might be comfy with the legs coming all the way to the floor. And we're going to breathe here. Whether you're in this variation on the floor or you're rested over your bolster, bringing your awareness back to the heart space. So feeling the parts of the heart space, whether it's the back body or over your bolster, feeling that little pressure point and letting the breath expand from it, rising and falling. So we breathe in and we let it go. Really starting to take a little scan through the body. Notice if you hold tension anywhere. Sometimes we can be gripping through the toes, the groin, clasping the hands without really thinking about it. Same for the jaw. Can we use the breath to help move beyond any of that tension, to flush it out? Just going to be in our spinal twist, whichever variation you're in, for about 5 more long, deep breaths. And then we're going to mindfully come to that same posture the other way. So we had the legs out to the left before. This time we're bending, or we had them bent with the left leg in front, I should say. This time the right leg is in front. Left leg bent in close by. If you're going for your reclining twist over your bolster, setting it up so it's sideways, coming away from the hip. Inhaling, finding space. Exhaling. Oh, so lovely. Really feeling all the vertebrae open up as you come down over the bolster. And I'm going to take the variation I did before, so anyone over the bolster not enjoying that posture can simply lay on their back. And this time taking the knees over to the right. And then letting your head and neck go the other way. Taking that scan of awareness again through the body. Can you use the breath to help you let go of any tension? Can you invite any tension, any stress to release, to melt down into the earth? Letting yourself be breathed here. No forcing, not trying to do anything. Just letting it be. Again, just into our last 5 breaths or so here. No rush, no forcing. Still focusing on the earth coming up to meet you, to hold you, to take away any tension. And then we're going to softly unravel ourselves. No rushing. Take your time, have a little recalibration through the spine, however feels good. And we're going to set up for one of my favourite postures. You've probably done it with me before. We're going to take the bolster out behind us. If you want to take a little bit of pressure out of the pose, you can add blocks, blankets, books to make the bolster come upright, so that when you lay back over it, it just takes out a little bit of the back bend. But it's down to you how you wish to be here today. If your lower back isn't very happy, then come closer, give it more support over the bolster. If you're okay to go for a little more back bend, we want the bolster roughly mid-back, bra height. I'm just going to grab a blanket because we're going to be here for a few minutes. But as our theme today is the heart space, I invite you to stay here for your Shavasana. But to begin, we'll just enjoy this space. Same as that first posture with the legs, you can extend them out long. You could place the feet outside edge of the mat, knees drop in and support each other. And you can also take the feet together and let the knees drop out into your butterfly. Here it can also be nice to just shimmy a block under the thigh. It takes a little pressure out of the groin. So find your happy variation. Maybe you tuck yourself in. And as you rest down over the prop, feel that heart space lifting. Feel that heart space open. And check in with any emotion that arises from this energy center. Such a purity and a vulnerability to the heart space being open. Can you welcome all that is here? Can you let go of any judgment? And then melting down into the floor. Nothing to do and nothing to achieve here. Your space to simply be. And just in case you're still struggling a little to let go, mentally giving yourself permission. Not that you need to, but sometimes it helps to hear it. Permission to rest. Permission to release. Permission to be soft and slow. And then yogi's choice. Staying in your heart opener. If it feels good, if you're comfortable there. Invitation to keep yourself in that pose, or you can remove your props and bring yourself down into your traditional savasana, so flat on the floor. If neither are calling for you today, you can take your relaxation in a meditation pose. Maybe you want to simply sit with the eyes closed. Yogi's choice, no right or wrong, as long as you take this time to rest. Nothing to do, nothing to achieve. Let your awareness flutter from the crown of your head, down the body, through the spine, through the energy center of the heart space, reaching the tailbone, awareness extending all the way to the tips of the toes. And then just letting it all go, to be here in your bliss, in your shavasana. Okay, so if you're ready to move away from your practice, you can bring a little movement to the body, some deeper breaths. But if you are loving, and I hope you are, loving your shavasana, just stay there for as long as you need, as long as you can, as long as you need. Take your rest. You truly deserve it. If you're ready to finish, and I'm just going to wave my goodbyes, conclude, so maybe still you're chilling, so I'm just going to say, may you dedicate the fruits of your labour to whichever higher power you believe. We ask them for loving thoughts, loving communication, love in our hearts. Thanks so much. Namaste. I hope to see you all again soon. I will be back for more. Take care. Bye bye.